A male lion takes over a new pride. Within days, sometimes hours, he kills every cub that isn't his. The mothers do not stop him. They cannot. This is not rage. It is not an accident. It is not a malfunction in his brain. It is a strategy, and it is far more common across the animal kingdom than most people realize. Lions do it, chimpanzees do it, bears do it, dolphins do it. Even some birds do it. Scientists have a clinical word for it: infanticide. The intentional killing of an animal's own offspring, or the offspring of others in its group. It sounds like a contradiction. The entire purpose of life, biologically speaking, is to pass on your genes through your children. So why would evolution allow or even favor animals that kill their own young? That is what we're going to understand today. Before we go further, we need to be precise about what this is. Infanticide in biology refers to the intentional killing of dependent offspring by an adult member of the same species. This is different from predation, one species killing another for food, and it's different from accidental death or simple abandonment. This is deliberate. It can be done by males, it can be done by females, it can target unrelated infants, or in some cases an animal's own, and it has been documented across an enormous range of species. Primates, rodents, big cats, marine mammals, even birds. This isn't a glitch in nature, it's a pattern. And patterns in evolutionary biology usually mean one thing: there's a reason it keeps happening. Let's start with the most well-known example: lions. In a typical pride, one or two males control access to a group of females. Eventually, a younger, stronger male, or a coalition of males, challenges and defeats them. The new male takes over the pride, and almost immediately he begins killing the cubs that belong to the previous male. This is sexually selected infanticide. Here is the biological logic behind it, as cold as it sounds. A lioness will not enter estrus, meaning she will not be able to reproduce again while she is still nursing cubs. That nursing period can last close to 2 years. For the new male, that is 2 years where his genetic line is on hold. 2 years where a rival lion's cubs are growing up, using resources, taking up space in the pride, while he gets nothing. By killing the cubs, the lioness stops nursing. Her body resets, and within weeks she becomes fertile again, this time with the new male. A study published in the journal Science found that males can eliminate the offspring of their competition and return the female to full reproductive capacity dramatically faster. It is brutal, but from a purely evolutionary standpoint, it works. The new male maximizes the short window of time he'll likely control the pride before being overthrown himself. If this behavior were limited to one species, you could call it an outlier. Researchers have documented this same pattern of sexually selected infanticide in over 51 species of primates alone. Chimpanzees do it, chacma baboons do it, mice do it, hippos do it, bottlenose dolphins, animals we tend to think of as gentle and intelligent, have been documented doing it too. Even some bird species, like certain guillemots, show this pattern. In almost every documented case, the underlying motive is similar. A male, often newly dominant or competing for mating access, eliminates offspring that are not his own. This frees the mother to reproduce again faster with him. Researchers studying mammals found something striking when they compared species across the evolutionary tree. Species where females mate with multiple partners had evolved this infanticidal behavior earlier in their evolutionary history. There's a reason for that connection too. It comes down to a problem male animals face that we rarely think about: recognition. This raises an obvious question. How does a male animal know which offspring belong to him and which don't? In most cases, he doesn't, not with certainty. What he relies on instead is timing and access. If a male has been the dominant male in a group for the full length of a gestation period, the offspring born during that window are statistically very likely his. Anything born outside that window, especially right after he's taken over a new group, almost certainly belongs to a rival. This is why a takeover triggers such immediate, brutal action. The timing itself is the evidence. And this is also where female animals enter the picture, because they did not evolve to simply accept this. Scientists have found that in several species, females developed counter-strategies specifically to prevent this from happening. One of the most fascinating is something researchers call paternity confusion. In species like certain lemurs, females will mate with multiple males during a single fertile period. Not because of romantic preference, because if no single male can be certain he's the father, none of them have a clear evolutionary incentive to kill the resulting offspring. It's a defense built entirely around uncertainty. Researchers studying this pattern compared the size of testes across species, used as a proxy for how often females mate with multiple males, and found something remarkable. Species with larger testes, indicating higher female promiscuity, had evolved infanticidal behavior earlier in their family tree. In other words, this isn't a one-sided story. It's an arms race, males evolving a brutal strategy, females evolving ways to outsmart it. So far, we've focused on males killing offspring that aren't theirs. But there's a second, even more difficult category: filial infanticide. When a parent kills its own offspring. This sounds like it should never happen, and evolutionarily it seems to work against everything natural selection should favor. But under specific conditions, it does happen. And the logic behind it is different. When food, water, or shelter becomes severely limited, some parents will kill a portion of their own offspring, not out of malice, out of resource math. If a mother cannot realistically keep all of her offspring alive, investing everything equally across all of them can result in losing every single one. By reducing the number of mouths to feed, she increases the odds that the strongest of the remaining offspring survive to adulthood. This is sometimes called brood reduction, and it's been documented extensively in birds, particularly species like the white stork. It also occurs in fish, where filial infanticide is widespread, sometimes even involving the parent consuming the offspring it kills, a behavior researchers call filial cannibalism. From a human perspective, this is almost impossible to process emotionally. But evolution doesn't optimize for kindness. It optimizes for which genes make it into the next generation, and the one after that. A parent that loses everything trying to save offspring who were never going to survive anyway has, in evolutionary terms, lost the game entirely. When we first hear about infanticide in the animal kingdom, the instinct is to recoil, to call it monstrous, unnatural. But evolution was never designed around our sense of right and wrong. It was designed around one outcome: which genes survive into the next generation. A male lion ending a rival's bloodline, a mother bird letting her weakest chick go to save the rest, a female lemur mating with multiple partners just to create enough uncertainty to protect her future children. None of it is comfortable. All of it has worked for millions of years. And maybe that's the real lesson here. Nature was never cruel on purpose. It simply never had a reason to be kind. And if you made it this far, thank you. If this made you see the natural world a little differently, hit the like button. It tells me someone out there was paying attention. And if you want more stories like this, subscribe. Hit the bell. Because the next one, you don't want to miss. This is Luicomind, and we are just getting started.